Hello friends, you're once again with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm still playing Arkham Horror with the Dunwich Horror expansion and the King in Yellow expansion. And well, the situation stayed the same. Well, basically the main problem is the same. We have now Act number 2 from the King in Yellow expansion, and that means if I draw a weather environment card, the game is lost. But I did better in the last turns. I closed my few gates. Actually, I sealed them here at the Independence Square and here at the Unnameable. And then there is Daryl Simmons here at the City of the Great Race, and he might also close a gate in this turn. So, well, I think the main problem is this one environment card. If I draw this, the game is over. If I don't, I might actually have a chance. Okay, so let's see now. The first player is Minty and I will start the upkeep phase with her, but I'm not gonna video this. So nothing special happened during the upkeep phase. Minty is still cursed, and Dexter Drake could keep his retainer. And let me see now. Minty can't move because of the high tides, so she's delayed, and I simply remove this delayed marker now, so now she can move during the next turn. And then it's Carolyn Fern, and she's in trouble. Oh, by the way, what was important, I wanted to do during the upkeep phase, I wanted to use this spell, Lure Monster. Dexter Drake will do this. And it says you may cast and exhaust while in Arkham to choose one monster on the board. Move that monster to your current space. So the spell has a casting modifier of -1. So I roll 4 dice, and then I got this dusty manuscript, which allow me to use an extra die. So I can roll 5 dice. And yes, that was good. 4 times a 3 and a 5. So the spell is successful casted, then I have to pay 1 sanity, but I can place that here on the crystal of the Elder Things. So I won't lose the sanity. And if there are 3 sanity markers, I lose the crystal of the Elder Things. And then I will lure the fire vampire on his location in Hip's Roadhouse. So now there's only 1 monster left for Carolyn Fern. And I will fight that thing. It's the Shoggoth, and it's a pretty nasty monster actually. Physical resistance, nightmarish. That means even if I can do the horror check successfully, I will lose 1 sanity. But before I fight this monster, I will try to do this Livre Divin. And actually there is something I played wrong until now, and somebody pointed that out. And that's pretty important. I will explain that. Until now, I always played it the way that when I start the turn with a monster in the same location, I could fight that monster, kill it, and then move on. And only if I enter a location with a monster and fight that, then the movement is over. Now, somebody pointed out this is wrong. Anytime you fight a monster, your movement points are gone. And you have to fight a monster if you end your movement in the same location as the monster. So now actually I start the movement phase here with her, and I will I will spend 2 movement points and make a lore -2 check. So, oops, I rolled 3 dice. And that was a success, very good. And now I can search the spell deck for a spell of my choice. Take it, discard this thing, and lose 2 sanity. Okay. And now I gotta find a good spell for me. Okay, it took me some time to go through the spells, and there are many really great things, but when I see the situation that I'm in, I thought maybe Arcane Insight would be a great spell. It says, cast and exhaust to look at the top 3 Mythos cards in the deck, then replace them on top of the deck in any order you choose. When casting this spell, you gain a +1 bonus to your spell check for each tome in your possession. And this might help me avoiding these environment cards. So maybe that can be a very, very valuable spell. The problem is there's a casting modifier of -4. So that's a lot, and I don't have any tombs. Maybe I can try to maybe I can arrange it somehow that Dexter Drake would give her the Dusty Manuscripts, because in this case that would give her a +2 to this special spell check. But they're kind of divided. There are these monsters, so I'm not sure how I can make this happen. But this might be really an option to save the game for me. Okay. And then the movement phase for Carolyn Fern is over. So I end my movement phase with a creature in the same location, and now I got to fight this Shoggoth. Okay, so this is not gonna be easy. First I got to do a horror check, -1. And I got a will of 4. So let's see. I didn't make it, that's bad. So I lose 3 sanity. So I only got 1 sanity left now. That's a problem. That really is a problem. Gotta go to the asylum or something. But okay, we'll find out about that. The good thing is that the Storm of Spirits doesn't cost any sanity. So I was lucky here. And yeah, I will use this spell once again, and it has a casting modifier of -1, so I can use 4 dice, and I was successful. And now I can roll 5 dice plus 3 is 8, and I can use this thing, 9 dice, but I got a -1 modifier here, so it's just 8 dice. I just checked once again this nightmarish ability. You only lose an additional sanity if you pass the horror check. If you fail the horror check, you don't lose more sanity than the normal ones. Okay, so now I do the fighting, and let me see, we got 8 dice. That's 4, yeah, that's 8. Okay, oops. So let's hope for the best. I need 3 successes. Yes, I got it. 5, 5, and a 6. Ooh. That was good. That was really strong. She's a very good fighter, and she's a really Shoggoth killer. First she killed this proto-Shoggoth, and now she did the same with the Shoggoth. And she actually has now monster trophies of 7. So that's quite a lot. That's amazing. But I got this problem that I just have 1 sanity left. But in the upkeep phase I can restore 1 sanity to myself. That's at least something. Very good. Well, basically I think I can be happy about that. And then it's Daryl Simmons. And he's in the other world, and he simply moves from the other world to this gate here, the City of the Great Race. And there is the Dark Young, so there he is. And it's Dexter Drake now. And he's here, again in Hip's Roadhouse. Let me see. He's doing this here, the Eltdown shards. And that says, oh, is he really? I'm not so sure actually. Yeah, I think he can do this. He will lose 2 sanity. If he passes the lore check, he can remove a doom token, but he will lose 2 sanity. He only has 4 sanity right now, but he doesn't have to do a horror check when he wants to fight that fire vampire. So that should not be a problem actually. But he will also have to go to the Arkham Asylum, I think. So let's see now, the Eltdown Shadows. Okay, we have to roll 5, and what is this? Exhaust to gain +2 to lore checks when reading tomes. The magnifying glass. So I got actually 6 dice now, and yeah, but then I got to subtract 2. Is that so? No, it isn't. It's 5 and 2 is 7. So I got actually 5 dice. Okay. And yes, I have 2 successes. So now I have to discard this. And I can remove 1 Doom token from the Doom track. Well, that's very, very good. But I lose 2 sanity. Well, that's not so good. But I think it's worth it. Okay. And then movement phase is over and I have to fight this fire vampire. And it says ambush. That means once the combat has started, I'm not allowed to try to escape. And then it's a physical immunity. So that simply means I don't have to use a physical weapon. That doesn't make any sense. So I will use this shriveling spell. The bad thing is it costs another sanity, but I can use the Crystal of the Elder Things and place the sanity loss here. I got a casting modifier of -1, but I got this tome which gives me +1, so I got 5 overall. And yes, 2 successes. And now this thing gives me +6 to combat checks. I got a 5, +6 is 10, +1 for this fight skill is 11, -2 is 9, and I need just one success. So that shouldn't be a problem. Yes, I got actually 2 successes. Okay, so I think that was pretty good. I killed 2 monsters, so yeah, why not? Remove the Doom token, and I have this special spell now. Let's hope that it's let's hope that I still got enough time to use it. Okay, so we're done now with the movement phase. Okay, and now Minty Pan starts with the Arkham encounter phase, and she is still in that stupid shop. So let's see. It says, you tried talking to the elderly locals gathered around the pot-bellied stove playing checkers, but you gain nothing but stares and a few befuddled grunts for your trouble. Apparently they don't like outsiders. No encounter. Okay. And then it's Carol and Fern. She's on the street. There are also no encounters. And now it's Daryl Simmons. And yeah, what he's gonna do is he will actually discard this Elder Sign. When sealing a gate, lose 1 stamina and 1 sanity and return this card to the box. You do not need to make a skill check or spend any clue tokens to seal the gate. In addition, remove 1 Doom token from the Ancient One's Doom track. Okay, so that is a pretty awesome card. I lose 1 stamina and 1 sanity. So, as you can see, we're all close to madness. So, but I'm under the impression that things are going a little better now. I can remove the next token here. So we're now back at 5, which is pretty good actually. And then this gate is closed. and sealed on Gardener's Place. So now let me check. I'll do it the other way, like this. Now let me check if there are any monsters with a triangle. Actually, I don't think so. No. But I can keep this gate as a trophy. And then it's Dexter Drake, and he's got an encounter at Hibbs Roadhouse. Okay, and it says you stand inside the door, surveying the crooks, drunks, and miscreants. Would anyone even be able to notice if a greater evil arose among this scum? The only way to ensure Arkham's safety is to act now. If you have an elder sign, you may discard it to seal this location. Oh man, that would be great, but yeah. Sadly, I don't have an elder sign. Anyway, I think that was a pretty successful turn. And now we come to the interesting part, the Mythos phase. Let's hope for the best. Yeah, we're not dead. Unvisited Isle. There is already a gate. Let's check this. So we have a gate burst. No. I always mix this up. We have a monster search here. And that means now there are actually, well, it's interesting. There are just 2 open gates. That's really, really interesting. So now there are 4 monsters appearing into Arkham. Let's see. 1. Okay, and once again we're in kind of some trouble. We have Color of Outer Space. Color out of space. That's, well, physical immune, magical immune. So it seems to be hard to kill. I'm not sure where I'm gonna place that actually. And then we have this red thing here. Before you make a combat check against red thing, you must discard 1 item or automatically fail. Also not so good. Another Dark Young. Oh man. And here an Elder Thing. When you fail a combat check against Elder Thing, you must discard 1 of your weapons or spells, if able. Oh man. Oh, that's bad. Okay, I think I will place the Dark Young up here because that's another stationary monster. And we don't want too many monsters moving in Arkham. Then, let me see. We have this Elder Thing, and I'm not sure actually. Well, that's not an easy decision. I think I'm going to place I have to place 2 monsters on the Unvisited Isle, because it's not allowed to divide the monsters in a way that there are more monsters on another location than the location where the monster search happened. So there has to be 2 on the unvisited isle and 1 monster in the woods and another one here in the Watley farm. So the question now is which monster will be placed in the woods. And I think I will place the red thing in the woods. Okay. And the others are then placed here in the unvisited isle. Okay. Here we are. And now we got 4, 5, 6, 7 monsters in Arkham. So if there should appear another one, that would be over the monster limit, and because the monster limit is 7 here, and every monster above the monster limit would then go into the outskirts. So, that was the monster search, and now we have movement. And let's see what that means now. Okay, we will see. First we move these circled monsters, and there is this one, and luckily this moves in this direction, following the white arrow. If it would have moved back, I would have really been frustrated. But she can move out of the store in the next turn. That is good. And then we have the, let me see, are there more? Yeah, here is another one, the duel. But that moves in this direction, which is also good. And no other circles. And then here we have these rectangular things, and there is the color out of space. And we have to roll a die. On a 4 to 6, all investors in Arkham lose 1 sanity. Well, okay, if this should happen, we're really in trouble now. If we roll a 4 or 6, 2 of us will go insane right away. So, well, let's do it. Oh, lucky, 3. Man, that was close. Okay, and yeah, let me see. Okay, and then we got this one, and there is the elder thing. And that moves right here. And I think we're done now. Yeah. Okay. And a clue appears in the science building. And this is really interesting now, because we now have actually 4 clues in the science building, and Carolyn Fern is standing in the Miskatonic University Street. So she can collect 4 clues all at once. That's great. That's perfect. And then we have lodge members watch the night. All monsters in the French Hill Streets, all locations are returned to the cup. Let me see. Well, we're unlucky here. No monsters here. The French Hill Streets or locations. That was bad luck. But anyway, was a good turn, I think. And now we start the next one. Okay, this time I'm going to show you the upkeep phase, because it's pretty interesting. It's Carolyn Firm, and she would gain 1 sanity because of her psychology ability. But she spends that sanity to try this spell Arcane Insight. And that isn't easy. And I'm just wondering if there's anything I could do, actually. Oh, that would be also interesting. Okay, but yeah. No, there isn't actually. So I have to, I'm only allowed to roll 1 die, and I need a 5 or a 6. Let's hope I can make it. Would be really, really important. I didn't. Okay, that was bad luck. Okay, anyway. And it's Daryl Simmons. Okay, I think I won't change anything with Daryl Simmons. I got to roll for the retainer of Dexter Drake. You can keep that. And then the curse of Minty Pan. I'm not lucky. Okay. I will change the speed of her. Go to 4. And yeah, I think that's it. Very well. And then it's the movement phase, and it's Carolyn Fern, and she now will move here into the science building and grab these 4 wonderful clue tokens. And then Daryl Simmons, and he will well, actually he does nothing. He has to stay here, or he can try to move. Why not? I mean, he tries to move away, and now he's got to fight that Dark Young, and he will probably die. Or not die, but being cowed. So first we have to do the horror check. This is modifier of 0, and I get a will of 3. And if I don't make it, I will go insane. I didn't. 3 times a 3. So yeah, I go insane. And what I do now is I draw one of these sanity cards here, and that is schizophrenia, -1 maximum sanity. If you ever gain another schizophrenia card, you are devoured. Okay, that's not so good because I only have sanity 4. But anyway, the sanity is now restored to 3. And I will end up in the asylum. Okay, and then it's Dexter Drake, and he also moves to the asylum. 1, 2, 3. And will he? Actually, I'm not so sure if that makes sense. I think he will, yeah. I think that makes sense. Okay, he goes there to the asylum, and maybe he can try to restore some sanity there. And then it's Minty Pan. Yeah, and she is still cursed. She can move 4. So I guess somehow she has to try to get here. Oh man, she's so bad. But she could... Well, that might be helpful, actually. Okay, she moves here to 1, 2, 3, 4. She moves uptown. And if she enters here... Or just give me a second. This is not so easy, actually. She's got a speed of 4, and she's got the map of Arkham. So what she could do now is she could actually move right in here. And then, and that's the interesting part now, she has to fight these monsters. But she can do it in a clever way. There is this night gaunt here. And that says... When you fail a combat check against Nightgaunt, you are drawn through the nearest open gate. If 2 or more gates are the same distance from you, you choose which gate you are drawn through. So actually that would be good in this case. So first I have to do the horror check, and that's not so bad because I have 5 sanity. So I got a will of 4. And there is a -1 modifier. So that's 3 dice. Come on. Unbelievable. If it's not so important, you roll 3 times a 6. Okay. And she's cursed. So it's unbelievable. Okay, so she made it. Let's hope she fails the combat check. But I think she will, because there is a modifier of -2 and she's got a fight value of 1. But she's got the Tommy gun. I'm not sure if I have to use it or not. Well, that is really an interesting question now. Well, actually, I think not. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. I mean, you also don't have to use the spells. And if you have more items, you can decide which one to use. So I think it's not necessary to use the weapon. So in this case, I simply lose this fight. And I don't lose any stamina, but I'm drawn through this gate. And that is pretty amazing. So now I'm actually here in one of these Dunwich other worlds in another time. That was good. And now we come to the encounter phase. And Carolyn Fern is in the science building, and she will spend her Great Gate trophy. Just want to show you the science building, how it looks like. And then you see here you can spend a gate trophy to gain 2 clue tokens. And that's what she does. And now she's got actually 6 tokens, 5 to seal a gate, and she might even pay 1 clue token to try to improve her chances for the arcane inside, but we will see about that. And then it's Daryl Simmons. And he is in the Arkham Asylum, and if you go insane and come to the asylum, you don't have an encounter there. And finally it's Dexter Drake. And he will pay $2 to restore the sanity to the maximum value. Oh, he's got a lot of money, as you can see. He pays 2. And now he's got 5 sanity. So that was the Arkham encounter phase, and then it's Minty Pan in another time. And she has to draw from these King in Yellow cards. And we need a red or a green card. Yeah, that's good. And we have Relay, the Dreamlands or other, and it says, for once fortune is with you, no encounter. So actually it seems that during the last turns fortune was with me. And now I have to roll for the Mythos card. I have to draw the Mythos card. Let's see what that is. It's one of the standard cards. Okay. And that is actually from the, I think from the Innsmouth Horror expansion or so. So I won't use this one. And this is okay. And you don't believe it, it's again the Unvisited Isle. And, okay. So the good thing is no gate opens. We have another monster search. But now all the monsters are placed in the outskirts. I think because there are 7 on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So now I have to draw 4 monsters and place them all in the outskirts. Okay, I got this Yithian. That's a really nasty one. And then we got the, it looks pretty crazy, the Loigor with a weapon immunity. A deep one hybrid, we had that before, and a deep one. Yeah, so I think it's a good thing that they all go in the outskirts. And what does that mean? Well, actually, monsters in the outskirts, they normally have no influence on the game. There are a few exceptions, a few cards, but normally they don't have any influence. But there is a limit for the outskirts. And in a 4-player game, that's exactly 4. So now, if there would be another monster here, then these monsters would be removed from the outskirts would be empty again, but the terror track would move on. And yeah. And now let's see, we have to move the monsters. We have this moon symbol here, and there is no monster with a moon symbol on the board. And then we have this cross, and now we have a little problem because we have these cross monsters on the board. 2 actually in Dunwich. One of them moves here, following the black arrow, goes here. In the next turn it will absolutely move here into this vortex. The other one, Barnabas Marsh, follows also the black arrow and he moves right into this vortex. So what we got to do now is we'll place him back in the cup, but we have to place a Dunwich Horror token here on the Dunwich Horror track. And remember, if there are 3 tokens, then the Dunwich Horror will awake, and this is a monster that will speed up the awakening of the Great Old One. But right now this is actually not so much my concern, because I might have a chance to finish this game pretty fast if I'm not killed by the 3rd act of The King in Yellow. But let's wait and see. Let me see if there's another cross somewhere on the board. No, there isn't. And another clue appears at the science building. Well, that's very good, because Carolyn Fern is right there, so she can take that clue. And now she has actually 7 clues. That's cool. That's really great. And she could watch now she could use now 2 clues to use this arcane inside. And then I could win 3 turns this way, and make sure that there won't be a weather environment card in one of the next turns. Except every one of these next 3 cards would be such an environment card, but I hope that won't happen. Okay, and it says witch-burning anniversary. An ancient curse strikes Arkham, releasing 2 monsters into the Rivertown streets. Okay, so these 2 monsters are released right in the outskirts. Okay, so now I have to draw 2 monsters. And now I actually have a question. I'm not so sure how this works. By the way, this is the High Priest and the Chthonian. So the rules say when the monsters in the outskirts exceed the monster limit, then remove the outskirts limit, remove the monsters and move up the terror track. So something like that. The question now is, if I place now these monsters here, does that mean I place 1 monster, now it's 5, I remove these 5 monsters and then place the second one? Or does that mean I place the 2 monsters and remove them now, and there is no monster now in the outskirts? So yeah, that's my question. For now I will do it like this. I will remove all the monsters from the outskirts, and the terror level goes up to number 3. And that means now that another ally leaves the city. And now this is a closed marker. Oops, it's the other side around actually. Shop sign like that. And because now the terror track is on this pink 3 here, the general store with this pink framing is closed now. So I place this marker here and I'm not allowed to enter this store anymore because the owner of the store left the city. Okay. Okay, let's be honest. I think we had 2 good turns now. And after the start of this game, I've never had thought that I could make it that far. And to be honest, I want to win this game now. I think I have a real chance. If she can manage to get this arcane insight going, and I can arrange these Mythos cards the way I want to, I might really have a chance to avoid this 3rd act being played. And, well, right now there are 3 gates closed, sealed actually. Minty is on her way sealing the next one. Carol and Fern has enough clue tokens to seal the 5th one. And Dexter Drake, okay, he needs a few more. But he could, for example, go to the science building, maybe somehow exchange this gate trophy for 2 more gates, for 2 more clue tokens, and then discard the magnifying glass, which would give him an additional clue token. So if he manages to go to the science building, he already would have enough clue tokens to seal the last gate. On the other hand, it's still a lot to do, and the Dunwich Horror track starts to fill up, and yeah, you'll never know in this game. There might be a gate burst or something, but I think it's definitely more interesting than I thought it would be. So I hope to see you in the next videos. Until then, bye.